Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hello and welcome everyone to episode 8 of New to Mythics. Joined tonight, special guest, Sig Henriquez. Thank you very, very, very much for taking time out of your schedule. Very short notice too. I think I messaged you this morning.
Yeah.
I had messaged you like a couple weeks ago and was like, hey, would you be on a different show? And I appreciate you making time, carving time out for me tonight. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. I love this hobby.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. So New to Mythics is kind of like a warm, welcoming hug for the new fans of Mythics, where I kind of go over, the things that kind of make the toy line more than just a toy line. It makes I kind of want to show like how special this community is around the toy line. And so a lot of times I'll have conversations with friends and people that I've met through in the community and make connections that way and gain a lot of friends along the way. So Sig, I met at Legion's Con last year. I don't remember how we like started talking, but I know like
just hanging out in the lobby.
That. It's so much damn fun. Like people are loose. There's people, there's drinks being had.
And it was like Wreck-It Ralph, all these YouTube channel dudes walking around.
Yes, exactly. That's a good analogy. Yeah, like
just talking to everybody.
Yeah, just talking like, it was like a big like casual party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was no egos that I know of. There was no issues. There was nobody being jerks. It was just like people being cool with like, they had.
That's funny that you say it like it's a party because that blows my mind because it's at a party. The worst is when you're having conversations you don't want to have. So that entire weekend is conversations you actually want to have.
Yes.
Boom. Yeah. My mind is fun. It is like a casual party.
And today I was talking briefly to Cloud Foxwell, and I said to her that like the Legion's Con is kind of like a family reunion with people that you actually do want to spend time with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just like it's just a casual party and get together and like fellowship, not to sound corny, but like we all just kind of, so many different walks of life, from all corners, just come together and hang out and share and talk and, drink and buy figures and check them out and just hang out in the lobby. Like it's all about the lobby for me.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. I flew all the way across the country and it's indescribable actually because it's something that I try to live every day in my life with surrounded by figures, custom work, and looking at everybody's stuff. I check into Cabal every day, just like you do. I see you there, and being at Legion's Con, it's totally realized. Like I said, it's like Wreck-It Ralph. Everything that I spend my time online looking at is just walking around and living color. Yeah.
That's what it was. Like my last year was my first year there. And like I had spent so much time in the Cabal, like I don't think I lurked, but I didn't really have anything to share. But like I just kind of soaked in like the personalities and the customs and the creativity and the different figures. Like I was kind of absorbing. I was like a newborn, like absorbing. So like when I got there, it's like there was so many people there that I knew. like I had seen you in the Cabal before. Like I had seen the stuff that you'd done, and Jordan Frazier and Van Johnson and Curtis.
I
I
love
met
those
Curtis
guys
before.
so much.
Yeah, they're so awesome. The Purple Gang are just like the
Yeah,
coolest dudes. So
fucking
damn
funny,
positive. But
funny.
like,
Cheers to the Purple Gang Gang.
yes, cheers to the Purple Gang. Absolutely, absolutely, for sure. But like, yeah, it was just so much fun. Like so much fun. I just love being there and just being with new friends, you know.
Yeah,
Loved
new
it.
friends, long gone.
Yes, absolutely. So
Until next time.
until next time, my friends. So let's get into I want to show some of your art and some of your customs. I have some slides to show, but before that, I want to talk a little bit about your young sig collecting. Have you always been in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I was born in Puerto Rico, but I've been in Vegas since 1979.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that was kind of the dawn of
that's
new
right.
toys, like the Fisher Price and Kenner and Mattel
Yeah,
making like these new amazing toys that came out. So
that was a perfect age for all of this baloney. Like
yes. Even though we're kind of
He-Man,
old farts now,
dude,
we
Tranzor Z or
yes,
Mazinger Z,
dude. I love
Voltron,
Mazinger Z. I love
Star
that.
Wars.
Yeah, I love that. So what were your early tell me some of your early remembrances of some figures and toys that you had.
The earliest toys that I remember actually taking any special interest in was the He-Man, the
Mhm.
Motu line. Blew my mind. The artwork on the boxes. I not that I had any of them, like I think all I had was a merman. But
Yeah.
I went to like this birthday party and the kid got everything that year and he was just like
Like
tossing the
ah
he was no, he was tossing. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what he was opening, but he's like
yeah
tossing these packages over his shoulder, and I'm like, they're landing in my lap, and I'm like, what's up with the box art?
yeah.
Changed my life, dude. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? This is
Those little
freaking nice.
comics, those little
Oh yeah,
comics that
yeah.
that
That come
art,
with it.
like like I would buy a book of just the art. I'm sure
Yeah,
they have something like.
I have that book.
Do you? Yeah, I want
Yeah,
that book. Yeah, you'll have to show me a picture of that because I need that book. But I
yeah.
love
It's
that
the He-Man
art.
art. Yeah, it's the art of He-Man. It's the art of Masters of the Universe book. There's a couple of those actually that
Yeah.
you can get Amazon. I'm being eaten alive by mosquitoes. That's
Are
what
you
keep on.
outside?
No, I'm inside. Well, I just walked to the store, um, and on my way, I guess I got bit. But we're not used to that in Las Vegas.
I
We're
was gonna say.
transforming. Yeah, we're transforming the ecosystem with all our shitty pools.
So it's like
And
Dune. So it used to be a desert planet,
yeah,
and
now it's
now
freaking.
there's too many pools. So
Yep. And everybody's watering lawns and freaking, all the extra rain making pools, standing water, and
it's changing the ecosystem for sure.
mosquitoes are insanely well evolved, man. Like they
Yeah,
freaking
they're happy.
ah,
Yeah,
they
because I remember
adapt
like
that
I
quick.
think I was there like 20 years ago a couple times, and it was dry. Like I remember there
Yeah,
was like locusts or cicadas
yeah.
so
You can hear
loud.
that noise. Yeah, super loud.
Yes, I'm like, how do people sleep in this noise?
I know it's
The
fucking weird.
noise.
Yeah, it's like it's a western out here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
So you grew up in a good time of toys. You'd come to
perfect time.
America, and
Perfect time.
Masters of the Universe kind of
Yeah,
grabbed your imagination.
yeah.
So Merman was your first. Was that your first action figure, or
Dude, yeah, that was my own one and only. I was poor as hell, and so that was my one Motu figure I had. Like I said, my friend across the street had everything else,
I
but
had that? Yeah, and he
I
became
had
my
the
best friend.
oh easily,
Yeah, I
and
remember going to his house one time, my friend Sean Castro, and I was poor like you. Like I would get a toy like for my birthday if I was lucky, you know.
right, same here.
And I went to this kid's house, only child, and he had like doubles and triples of like every Star Wars figure, all the GI Joes, all the, and I'm like, oh my god, like did the toy truck like crash in your front yard? Like where did all this
Yeah,
stuff come from? You know, is
isn't
your
that
dad,
nuts?
is your
I
last name
had a
Hasbro? What's going on here?
That's crazy how some kids had that. I had the friend across the street, Ray, had all the Motu, and then another buddy, Daryl, in an apartment complex, and another one had of all the Transformers. So
Mhm.
between them two, I was set, dude. I was like
Yeah,
freaking off, dude. Was I using those kids for those toys? I'm just epiphanizing right now
yeah.
what what I was because I know I didn't have any.
Right. Yeah. No, I would trade, like I would wheel and deal. You know, I think I had a Lion-O figure that I got for my birthday, and like I traded it for a Flint
Awesome.
from GI Joe,
Oh,
or you know, a Transformer for this or that. You know, I had to wheel and deal because I didn't have any money, so I had to figure
yeah,
things out. But yeah, it was cool that like back then, you know, you could go to a buddy's house and you know,
yeah.
and you
What?
guys could play. Like it was almost like this, the play sets and stuff were built to share, you know, or you know, you have like these play sets and you come over and play Masters of the Universe, and you know, it was just good times as a kid, you know.
Yeah. And Christmases were cool. My parents did come, come through on all of that. And man, I remember one time I got all the RoboForce stuff, like the RoboForce tank.
Yeah.
I remember another Christmas, it was a B wing.
Oh,
My
I
brother
still
got
have
the
one.
yeah, and my brother got the Y wing.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, it was really cool. I remember those.
Yeah. And that stuff, and I think, not to get too like, you know, sappy or whatever, but like when you don't have, yeah, yeah, keep going. When you don't have a lot when you're young, like when you get something, it's like, you know,
That
people
much more
talk
better.
about grails now, but like back then,
That's
if you
why.
got that B-wing,
Yeah,
you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever held in my
I
hands.
know.
This
It
is the
really was,
coolest.
man.
This
I
is the coolest, you know, like I
Yeah,
traded for a Slave One. um, I had Boba Fett for years to figure, but like there was no way I was gonna get a brand new Slave One. And like I think I traded a kid, like I don't even remember, like two of this figure, one of that, and like it was a beat up old junker, you know, but this Slave One was
perfect.
just like the coolest to me. It was like a diamond,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yep.
this is like the greatest thing I've ever owned, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I still
Magic,
have one in the next room
magic times.
from the new guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
magic
is magic
times.
times, man. I remember that. I can't believe, you know what? When I recollect those memories, I'm taking my own word for it that it was me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Seems like somebody
absolutely.
else's life, but I have the memories.
It's almost
I'm like, oh my god.
surreal, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, I can tell you my entire life, but if I like look back and said that was me, I'd be like, it was. It's
Right?
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I'm high.
Or a little
Yeah,
both.
yeah. No, it's
Cheers.
surreal. It's cheers. It's surreal to look back
Yeah,
and
it's like a whole
it
nother
was a different
lifetime,
time.
different
Look how
era.
different the toys look. That's
Yeah,
how different life is.
absolutely. And
Everything is
like,
super now.
and now things are more like enclosed, encapsulated. Like, um, here's
You
an
mean
example.
broken into a little niche?
What I mean is like, you don't see kids going to other kids' house to play with their stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't see that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would ride my bicycle to, you know, my buddy's house, and we would play with his, you know, GI Joes or Transformers and stuff. And I think
Right.
nowadays it's more like, you know, play at home, play in your room kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think action figures and stuff is our generation type thing. It's a Generation X thing.
Yeah.
Before that, they didn't give a shit, and after us, they don't seem to give a shit.
Yeah. I
We're
think
we're the
it's
ones driving the markets.
right. Yes. Yeah. I was just
So
talking about that with a friend that, you know, we are interested in a lot of the nostalgia kind of keeps us interested, but then, you know, these new figures and the engineering and how they're made and how well they're crafted, it kind of keeps
Yeah.
our interest.
Yeah, it's not only nostalgia, it's our generational thing. We like this shit, no matter how
Yeah,
old we are. We will always
exactly.
like this shit.
And
We're
I
gonna
think,
like this shit. We like
yeah,
it
you
now.
better. I paid $50 for that. You better like it.
I know.
I
Well, I mean, I love it way more than $50 worth. I mean, look at this. Look at this mini me.
Yeah, that's
Like,
beautiful.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't freaking put a price on a custom of
Absolutely.
this magnitude. Look at the sculpt work from
It's
Eric.
gorgeous.
I mean,
Gorgeous.
this fucking come on. If
Yeah. That,
1983 me saw this,
can you
he'd be like,
imagine?
"Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here!"
can you imagine that as a kid getting that? Psh,
Yeah,
you
it's
would be like, people
insane.
would come to your house. You would be like the cool
I'm
kid.
He-Man basically is what this
Yeah, yeah,
is. And, you know, in 40 years time, I've become He-Man, the thing that I love the most. Fucking
exactly.
crazy.
So that was kind
So
of what I was going to get to. It's like our generation, like imagination was so important. You know what I mean?
super,
So
yeah.
like, if you got one figure, if you got Merman, like you're having adventures, you're
Oh,
throwing all your other
ah,
figures in it,
yeah.
you're out there in the puddles. Like Merman is having
Hold
adventures.
on 1 second.
Yeah, it's all about imagination. And I think with what you got there, what you got there.
I got that merman love.
Yeah. Is that the original?
No.
You wish, huh?
It's
Oh, hey,
that
look at that dust.
yeah. I live in the old west. It is
I
freaking dusty
understand.
out here. So
Frontier days.
yeah, all I have to
But
do is open my dude, one I was dumb. I When it's nice, I open my window, and
yeah.
I went to bed one night with the window open, and a sandstorm blew over. Dude, it covered the entire corner of my room.
Hey, I'm from California. I know sandstorms, dude. Like
Ah,
we would wear like goggles going to school. We would be like Dune and stuff. Like we would go with like,
yeah, totally, dude.
you know, yeah,
So
that's
funny
awesome.
story about Merman. Like you said, I had just the one, and me and this freaking guy did everything. We all over the freaking kitchen, all over my mom's kitchen, in the sink. He um I asked my mom not too long ago, like freaking a few years ago, not when I was a kid, because I don't remember why Merman. I just thought, that was all they had or whatever, because he's such a weird. I mean, what
Yes.
kid would choose this, right? So I'm like, Mom, why'd you buy me Merman? She's like, that's the one you chose, you little weirdo. So
She probably thought
apparently,
that too. Like, why does he want this ugly figure for?
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, yeah.
I
So
think Trapjaw for me, Trapjaw I think was my first one I traded for.
see, now that's
And I'm
cool.
like, this figure is rad. And I still think he's awesome. Like I still have a soft
Yep,
spot for
yep.
him.
Across the board, awesome.
Yeah.
Trap Jaw's
Um,
awesome.
so
I
like,
actually made this custom not too long ago. Uh,
oh wow.
and it's definitely Trap Jaw inspired.
Yes.
You know,
Gorgeous, dude. So let's get into a little bit, like, let's forego some of the mythic thing. Well, um,
dude, check
you're
this out. This head and torso was sent to me by Corey
uh
Shortenhofer. It's like your last name. I can't pronounce any of that shit.
don't worry about it.
That's why I just go by Sig. But anyways, totally Trapjaw inspired design.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
I
So
love it.
you're an artist, dude. Like you're an
I am.
artist.
I am.
And I think that is so damn cool. But like I feel like, and I was looking at some of the pictures. I can't show them all tonight, but I was looking at some of the pictures that you sent me, and I feel like for you, like Cosmic really struck like that
Yeah.
creative. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I was just like looking at some of your things,
Yeah.
and it's like you really like seem to embrace like the cosmic figures.
Yeah. I love sci-fi. Every sci-fi. It's my favorite. the universe is so big and so old, and it's got such a future ahead of itself, hopefully,
Yes.
that the possibilities are
With or
endless.
without us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the possibilities are endless. And for an intelligent ape on a random planet
Hmm.
to speculate on what is out there
Yes.
and make it so cool, like Eric does,
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Or
That's
I might
it.
be high.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that might be part of it. Cheers. Cheers. Um, that's why I do love like sci-fi, in that there's no limit, there's no ceiling to
Right.
science fiction.
No.
You know,
Creativity is
yeah,
the
it's
ceiling.
it's it's dreaming the dreams of, whatever you could think of.
Right.
Um, things are like just randomly falling off my shelf.
Right.
But that's why I love sci-fi, is that it's just there's no limits to your imagination.
Right.
And there's no rules. Like I can't be like, hey Sig, that's bullshit. That's not, that can't never be. There's no limits to science fiction. There's no rules. It's
Yeah.
whatever you want it to be, whatever you dream it to be. And
And
I think,
one of my favorite exercises is to ima- uh, make something crazy like that torso, like this freaking impossible torso with mechanical everything else,
yeah,
and be like, what would a red demon torso be doing with such a chassis, you know?
yeah,
So my one of my favorite exercises is to make something crazy and then explain it away,
yeah,
pull something out of my
yeah.
and
Yeah.
explain it away in some sort of cool creativity thing where people that aren't even into this stuff will go, oh yeah, it's plausible. Like, no the fuck it ain't. I just full of shit,
Yeah,
so
but see, that it's almost like you're it's like a muscle, like your creativity. It's like, you're using your vision to think of something, but then you're also using your creativity to explain it or to make up a story for it. You know, so it's like you're channeling this inner creativity spark that you have in you and
well
creating
it's
something.
well, I'm channeling everything I grew up with, like the Motu and the
Yeah,
Transformers. When Transformers started off, that in a planet 4 billion years ago were this race of robots.
yeah.
I was like, "There's a what and a where and a what?" And
There's no
and I
plants,
was
there's no
like 10 years
water,
old. So, huh?
there's no plants, there's no water there, there's
No,
no
it's Planet
dogs.
Cybertron. It's a completely
Yeah,
cyber planet, and these things are having their own drama, and they come to Earth, and then they interact with us by hiding. They're disguised with our machinery, and all of that. I'm like, this is an impossibility. They do it the exact same way that I do it. They were like, we got transforming robots. What are we
yes,
gonna do with this
yes,
tape deck and this Porsche? What
yes,
the fuck? And somebody did it. That storyline of Transformers was like super sick.
yeah.
And again, another component that went right in to my brain. I'm like
It
Motu.
it
Another one
fed
was
our imagination.
Thundercats. Yeah, another one was Thundercats. I'm like, what the fuck is Earth Two or Third
Yeah,
Earth or whatever?
yeah. It just fed our imagination. And
Definitely.
I think that's what's missing, in later generations, maybe, is that, we didn't have everything. Not everything was given to us or thought of
Right.
for us.
Right.
We had to imagine,
Sure. Yeah. And
you
I mean,
know.
it's not their fault because if we are ingesting things and then reproducing it and putting it out there on the internet, and those kids are on the internet,
Yeah.
what the fuck? They're getting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they don't have to
That's their
dream
fault.
because
That's
the
where it is.
dreams, yeah, the dreams are there already. They don't have to dream. They don't have to imagine. It's already
Oh,
there.
that is sad. I hope they dream anyway. I hope it's stubborn.
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
I know.
I that's how I feel about being an artist in the time that I grew up. And it was pre-internet and now it's post-internet. But being an artist in the time I grew up, everybody was already doing the things that I wanted to do before I did them. TMNT,
Yeah.
Eastman and Laird, they're doing the art that I want to do.
Yeah.
Jim Lee with the X-Men, he's doing that, but I want to do that, but he's already got it. And
Yeah.
Pixar films, they have already got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that these kids are going through now, you know,
Yeah.
because everything is there, but you still should dream. Like, this is a modern work. What you're looking at right now, it's my new comic with,
Beautiful.
We Kill Evil Robot.
I love it. I love it.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna be 50 next month, and I'm still
Happy birthday, man.
doing shit. Thank you. And I'm still doing shit. And these new kids that think that everything's already done should go out there and do shit, because I assure you, everything has not been done.
Absolutely. And even if it has, it's new to you. If somebody gets something from your art, then it's successful, you know?
Right.
Like if you inspire somebody else by something that you created,
It's going to be naturally changed just by the filter of the
evolving,
artist doing it.
your perception. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Absolutely. No, and I that's why I love, I think, the mythics and the cosmics, is that so many people get so much out of the line. You know what I mean? Like you see like that demon head, and somebody's thinking, oh, you know, it's a demon, so I'll have like red wings and like, you know, whatever. But like your brain went like a completely different, you know what I mean? And I think that that's so cool. Like that says something about you, and you're using your imagination to go in a completely different, and that's so refreshing to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to, not only because as an artist, I want to create. So, yeah, people have done things, and you ingest that in any art form. But then whatever you're gonna do, like I said, it's filtered through me and what I want to do. That's why it's different. Because I'm like, those guys already got that. Let's me create something that hasn't been done. You know.
But I'm glad that you don't get discouraged by like, you know, oh, it's been thought of before or whatever. Like, I think a lot of people, and I have myself, like I like to write, and like I'll think of something and I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. You know, I like that. That kind of excites me. And then I'm like, wait a minute, like that was that movie that's already been done. So I don't do it. But like that's not fair to myself. And that's not, and I don't mean to sound egotistical, but that's not fair to the universe, because you're not putting
I know exactly
anything
what you mean. It may be
creative
for no
out there.
reason. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like if you don't if you don't act on your passion and create whatever it is that you're going to create, then the universe is like, I made this guy for no reason. Kill the Smurger Burger guy. What a waste.
Exactly. And if people thought that, like if, you know, if
I told them the right stars.
Edgar Allan Poe, if Edgar Allan Poe or you know, Sylvia Plath or H.P. Lovecraft was like, you know what, this is shit. Like, why did I make this for? You know, and threw it in the trash. Like, we wouldn't have like some of these masterpieces that that are
and you
out
never
there.
know it's going to be a masterpiece, because sometimes shit comes out in the generations like meh, and then a later generation's like
wow. Yeah. That's what art is. You know, it's not about financial success. It's about it's about you know, inspiration and yeah, it's about, you know, dreaming and inspiration and creating. And that's what going back to mythics again and cosmic. Like I'd love to see, like on the Cabal, like I will see people's like creations and what they come up with, you know, and it's just so fun to see that, you know, the creativity. Like today, I don't think I have the picture, damn it. Like you sent a picture of Morgulith and I don't think I have it here. Damn it. I'll have to
come on, man, that's my favorite one.
I know. Let me see if I can add it.
The messenger thing.
You did Morgulith and like
a long time ago
turned her into like this muddy spider that was so damn cool.
She was a queen of death. She was a queen of death.
Oh my god!
She was
first it hurt me because that figure is an amazing figure.
So she's completely petrified. She's a completely petrified fossilized animated goddess of death, and she can animate other fossilized warriors of death. Like that's why she had a collection of all of those different skeleton warriors.
Yeah.
She's the source of the all the skeletons walking around in
It's
my head canon.
amazing. Amazing. I'm gonna have to add it in the comments because I didn't download it for some reason. I think I was under the gun to get you on here and I did not get that picture. And it's amazing. Like that whole scene that you made. Yeah, I don't have it here.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite Mythic Legions experiences. Collecting different kinds of skeleton warriors, and putting them under her. It's on the Mythic Cabal.
Yeah.
If you search my name, Sig Henriquez.
Search Sig's name.
Yeah.
Pause this show and look for Sig, and then come back because
do David's job real quick.
Yeah, because it's amazing. I did you a disservice by not having that picture because I loved it, and my computer's so old that it's a process to I have to email the pictures that you sent me to myself, and then grab them into my StreamYard, and then
download it off one of their computers.
It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt. So I apologize. I will rectify that, and I'll either have you on again.
Walk into the library and you're like, I want my goddamn email.
Exactly. So when did you start getting into Mythics? Like, what was your journey to starting to collect that? Like, how did that catch your attention?
I was on the web somewhere. That sounds so dumb, but I've been a action figures collector my whole life, since those times to the McFarlane stuff.
Yes.
The ID4 figures and Alien versus Predator stuff and all the the old alien xenomorph line.
Yes.
And all that. I've been, just off and on of action figures this whole time. So I was doing the whole third party Transformers world. I had, every Transformer 4 times over. It was never ending. So I just was like, I gotta get out of here. And I sold all of that. And I'm like, I am done with that. And then I found Ashley Wood's World War Robots. And I did the same stupid thing, and I ended up with a bunch of different ones. And
that stuff's a little more expensive, though, isn't it?
Dude, super. But they were gorgeous. Once I get into a thing, grab it.
I love that stuff. He did a Captain America. Did you ever see that Captain America he did?
I don't remember that.
It was
my
so
favorite
cool.
Was the big red.
I wanted it so bad. Because it was like...
yeah. No, I do remember that.
He did two. There was like a noir, and then there was like a regular.
Right. No, I do remember. I was thinking, because I only collected the robots.
Yeah, the robots are sweet.
Dude, God.
Do you still have those?
Anyways, so it was it was like a chain link connection to where I was looking at, figures on Facebook and YouTube, reviews, Jobby Hong and all those guys, reviewing toys. And then I saw The Amazing Photographer review Juno, and then I kept on watching those reviews, and I was like, man, I got to try out these Mythic Legions, And see, she's badass, dude. One of the coolest. I still have that haircut.
Right?
Me too. I just don't have my blue on today. Excuse my appearance. No. So I saw The Amazing Photographers, and he was like, referred me to Mythic referred everyone on the video to Mythic Conversations with Jeremy.
Yeah.
So I went over there and I learned all about it, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna try some stuff. So it was very hard to pick my first one, but then I bought a Fury Orc and I built a unit around them. And then I got scared of that display because it was so demonic, and my Catholic upbringing was like, what are you doing, dude? And so I made a Templar unit to fight them.
Yeah.
So dumb. And then so I sold all of that, and then I did the whole skeletons display. So that's how I got into Mythics through, just a weird uh, plinko of toys throughout the years. I inevitably ended up here, and so then Cosmic came out, and
Yes. So did you
yeah,
leave any of the Yes, absolutely. Did
other
you leave any
sentences,
what?
other sentences.
Yes. Did you did you leave any of the figures by alone, or did you see a figure as like a empty slate for you to change and adapt and to
Yeah,
turn it into something else?
right. When I saw the Amazings reviews, I bought them for themselves, and whenever I buy a figure, I enjoy it for what it is. And then when I went to Jeremy's channel, I saw what you can do. So I was
Right.
like, I'm gonna do that. So then I started looking at it through a whole new lens, and I love his gallery, his extensive
Yes.
gallery of characters. I'm like,
Yes.
damn, I should have. See, I'm like, again, somebody else is already doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I love that figure, man. My barbarian Santa Claus.
This is the first one I think I saw of yours. And I'm like,
I
who is
love
this
it.
guy Sig? This is freaking cool, man.
I love it so much. Shout out to Curtis Hockerman. He gave me all them furs
Thank you,
for nothing.
Curtis.
For nothing. He just gave them to me. I didn't tell him to do it. Just like every
He
other
gave
show
me a
on
figure
YouTube.
today. He gave me a
Just
figure
like it.
today. Super nice.
Yeah, and you didn't ask him, right?
No,
This guy,
I
just
mean, I asked him
without no
for the
one asking him
figure.
to do shit. He just
I asked him
appears
to sell me
every
the
show.
figure, and he just gave it to me. I'm like, dude,
He's
I'll pay you for it. Like, give
he's
me your
awesome.
PayPal. And he's like, nope, my treat. I'm like, dude, you're too
He's
wholesome.
awesome like that. Yeah, it's
He's
crazy.
awesome like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see. He's kind of like the dad of like the Cabal community. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's kind of
Even
true,
though
man.
technically we're both a little bit
Again,
older
nobody
than
asked
him,
him to do
right?
that. It's awesome, dude. The community is the shit, and I was like, I come from a big family, and we always hang out. They're mad at me tonight because I'm not hanging out with them on Sunday for this,
Sorry,
but
man. Thank you.
no, it's okay. They understand my passion. I'm the artist of the family, so they're
Absolutely.
used to they're used to saying we don't get it, but go ahead.
Do
And
your
then
thing.
hey, you killed it. That's the art.
Cheers.
So I love Cheers. So that's yeah, I love this community, man. Fucking Jesse's fucking awesome.
Jesse,
Yeah,
Curtis,
dude, they're
so
they're
many
super
good
super
people.
cool. Yeah,
Purple Gang.
I know, man. Fuck, and
Yeah.
countless others. It would be a disservice to fucking uh like prioritize anybody because the community as a whole is the
Yes,
cool part. You know
I
what I'm saying?
agree.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
just this guy.
And that kind of brings us. So, was last year's Legion's Con, was that your first one?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what came over me to fly across the country. It's a big deal for me, man.
That's what I was going to
Uh,
ask you.
yeah, I travel on foot mostly, and then bicycle. Whoa, that's like light speed.
Yeah.
And so to fly across the country, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. My first time in New York, I had to walk around New York real quick on
You
the
have
first
to.
day. Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'm not gonna be all the way across the freaking river, being like, "Yep, there it is." I'm gonna. So I went into Midtown, spent an entire day in Midtown.
Good for
It
you.
was
I did the same
fabulous.
thing.
Yeah,
I
it was
was
amazing.
such a tourist in New York
Yeah,
City. I was just like,
same here.
awestruck.
Yeah, same here. Dude,
You
I
know?
pulled a Warriors. I took the freaking train. I walked around. I ran around.
Yes, the
I
Warriors.
rented.
You just need the best, dude.
It's awesome. I didn't want to pick the wrong color and get my ass whooped.
Right? Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
I rented a bike and I biked the entirety of Central Park. And I
See,
didn't have any. Yeah, I didn't have any direction. I just kept
I
going
thought about that.
until it came around the loop to
Yeah,
the.
I
It was
wanted to rent a
awesome.
bicycle. Like my feet were hurting, and no taxi cab would pick me up. I guess they just didn't like my
What?
face.
Where the
But so
gas
I was like
don't stop?
walking. Like I walked
Oh, I
like,
walked. Yeah, in
yeah,
my Crocs, dude.
miles.
Yeah.
And I'm like seeing people go on the bikes, and I'm like, I need to rent one of those bikes because my feet are killing me.
Dude,
But
I
like
walked
New
all
York
of
City,
Midtown Manhattan.
I'm
It's
like,
awesome.
I wish I could live there. It's just so damn cool.
I
I'm
wouldn't
like,
even know where to start, how to live there. Like,
I don't know
like
either.
where do you find work and
I saw
rent
Danny
an apartment?
DeVito.
Huh?
Danny DeVito was there. I
Oh,
was
you
just like,
saw Danny DeVito.
yeah, he was just there, dude. I
That's
was like
awesome.
by Times Square, and he was had doing a play or something like right off of Times Square.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are these people all standing there? So I'm like, I'll stand there too. And then all of a sudden he came out of the door, and the guy is like, he's just a little like a little guy,
Yeah.
but
What did you think?
super nice.
What did you think?
I didn't know he was gonna be that
Okay.
small.
Usually, every actor, you're like, oh, he's not that big. But Danny DeVito, he plays a short guy.
I was taken aback, but
Best
super nice. The
penguin
dude
ever.
was gracious. Like he signed. Cheers to Danny DeVito. He
Dude,
signed
best penguin
autographs.
ever.
Yes, and took
Yeah,
pictures with everyone that wanted pictures. He took pictures with them, and I'm like,
that's
thank you.
cool.
Yeah, the Beastie
Dude, it's
Boys.
not a big deal.
I ran into the Beastie Boys. They were there. It was like, man, this is a
Ah, wow.
cool, so cool. Like, I love
Yeah,
this city. There was like supermodels walking down the street. I was there for
yeah.
Model Week or something, and like, I'm like, this is surreal.
I
This is
was there for
surreal,
Bum
man.
Week.
Right? Yeah, it was so much fun. But yeah, so Legion's Con, you decided, you hopped on the plane, and you're like, I
Yeah.
am going.
I'm like, I can't believe I'm going.
Did you go by
Because
yourself?
yeah, I did go by myself.
You
I
went,
felt
you
like,
got on the plane, went by yourself, a
yeah,
complete stranger in a strange
yep,
land,
yep. I
and
felt like
just,
Kevin from Home Alone too. I was like lost
yes,
in New York type shit. But I was like, you know what? I'm a grown man. I'm from Vegas. God darn it.
yes,
And
I can do
it was
this.
exactly that. It
I'm
was
an
Vegas,
artist.
especially Times Square. That was Vegas. And I walk. I'm a very fit person. I can walk and ride bikes for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna walk this entire island. I didn't. I only walked Midtown, but it took all day. It took all day, and
Yeah.
um, I was just like, as long as I had an app telling me what to do and where to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, as long as I'm at this shuttle going to the Jersey hotel at
Yeah.
this time, I'm fine. And then
Yeah.
I did that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome.
And so you got to Legion's Con, and was there people there that you connected with that you knew, or were
Yeah,
you like,
Jesse Arnold hooked me up with a bed in his room, and at the
nice?
like
That's so
last minute
wholesome.
type shit. Everything is last minute, but not
Yes.
in my life. To me, it was planning ahead a
Planned.
week and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
As
a week and
far
a half.
back
I'm like,
as
here's
10 days ago.
yeah. He was like, here's my okay. I'm gonna buy my plane ticket. Jesse, here's the money for the room, and I went there. And yeah, if it wasn't for Jesse, it wouldn't have happened. Like, he gave me the
Shout
option.
out to
He's
Jesse
like,
Arnold for
yeah,
being
it was, it
one
was,
of the nicest dudes.
I know, yeah, he was
Seriously.
super, super, super cool. And still is. This fool
Yes.
wrote me a letter. I don't know where it's at, but he wrote me a letter with pen and paper.
He used stationery and wrote in penmanship
Yeah, dude.
to you.
Like it was the Civil War or something. Where is it? It's,
I
it's
can
one of
see
my
him with
most,
like a feather plume and a
yeah.
pen, like doing calligraphy.
He sent me a bunch
Dearest
of,
Sig,
yeah, he sent me a bunch of stickers.
I
And
love
then I
stickers.
opened, I'm like, what is this? It was some sort of white leaf with, graphite
Yeah.
text on it. It's like, hey, Sig, XYZ, and a thing. So I was like, what the hell? Who does this? It was like a scroll and shit.
Yeah, like parchment.
I was like, how much did it cost to mail these stone tablets?
I didn't even know you could do that anymore.
It
I
was
could see the
insane.
mailman like, what is this? Is this a letter? You're sending it?
Yeah. It's
Like,
like, we don't do this anymore. It's
yeah, we
supposed to
don't
be
do
junk
this.
mail.
Like, here, send an
It's supposed to be
email.
Carl Jr. Coupons.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to him, love him, and everything that they're doing, and they're not just like that on, I call it the TV, the internet, but they are like that in real life.
They're
They'll like
real, for
invite
sure.
you to fucking share their space, and so that enabled me to just buy the tickets, buy, the plane tickets, the
Yeah.
Legion's Con tickets. And once I was there, I was like in heaven, dude. I was
Yeah. It's
like,
like home.
yeah.
You're with
I was
friends. You're with
sending
family.
photos. Yeah. I was sending photos to my girlfriend. She's like, look at you in nerd heaven.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because my girlfriend's the exact polar opposite. She's a singer and a bartender. She's freaking
Awesome.
like a rock star chick, and she whiskey and cigarettes is her culture, and action figures and movies is my
That's
culture.
metal.
So uh, I was just sending her photos. She's like, "Look at you in nerd heaven, nerd."
Absolutely. You're like a fish in the sea, man.
Yeah,
You're with your people, man.
I was with my brothers. It was
Yes, my
awesome.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah, dude. Getting to walk up and down every single aisle and look at everybody's presentations, all these different figures. It was like, Comic Con is
Yes.
for artwork and
Yes.
figures like this. This is what it was for just my favorite kind of figures. Not just any figure, not just fucking, XYZ fill in the blank, but these are like
Yeah.
high level artisan figures from Todd McFarlane up. Basically everything that the Four Horsemen have ever designed
Yes.
is right there, and everything that they've ever influenced is in the next aisle over. And then the
Absolutely.
artists, I'm like, wow, these are awesome. Like everybody's nice, but the work, man,
Yes.
but the reason we're all there for is so good. And this is a 3D medium, so the pictures will never do any of it
A
justice.
hundred percent.
Like look at the lighting on us right now. Look at how the lighting changes on this guy.
Yeah.
So you need to like actually have these and have like a 3D experience with them.
Yes.
So when you're at Legion's Con, you get that experience, all these people's customs and the figures
Yes.
themselves, and you actually get to see like, oh my God, how much better
Yeah.
everything is in hand.
For me, it was like meeting the people that made this stuff too.
Yeah,
Like I geek out when I see Eric Treadaway or I see like Emil
right,
Wickman and
right.
these people that make these amazing creations.
Yeah,
Even Jeremy and Jeremy's customs. It's
yeah,
like you
yeah.
guys' creativity just blows my mind. And like I had seen you before in the Cabal and I knew who you were when I saw you, but I didn't really know like the extent of your art and how amazing a lot of your art was. So I kind of dug into that after I'd met you and was really astounded like this. And I don't have this picture either, but you did a Silver Surfer painting for a friend.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did a commission of a. Well, I just did the painting. That's how it turns out. That's the best case scenario when you just do something because you like it,
Yeah.
and then someone appreciated it and they bought it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a Silver Surfer in contemplation, and he's just sitting like this at the end of his surfboard, and he's just sitting there,
I loved
uh,
it.
looking at the sun, and it's just a giant like surface of the sun. Most of the painting is that flaming crazy
Yeah,
corona.
if you have that picture, send it to me. And so
Okay.
when this show airs, I'm gonna put a lot of your, if it's okay, I'm gonna put
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
okay.
your pictures. I'll post them like this is Sig's
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
pictures and paintings that I didn't get to show on the show.
Right.
And that way people can really see some amazing shit that you've done. And if you ever make another Silver Surfer, think about me,
You're
man.
down.
I
Okay.
would buy it, for sure.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
no,
I think I have a print. I have a print. I have a Silver Surfer print.
I would buy that from you and I would pay shipping for
It's
sure if you
no,
ever want to let it go.
no. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm just saying that I think I have a print, but it's not acrylic painted. It's a digital artwork,
Yeah.
my tablet. But
Yeah.
it's awesome. I love it.
I
But
would I would love that.
I'll print it out and then I'll mail it to you. Just send me your
Thank you.
address. Yeah.
I love people's art. I remember when I was in
I love
California,
art.
there was an ice cream store and it was like a little mom and pop ice cream shop. And what was cool about it was the owner would ask the kids that worked there, like, hey, do you do anything crafty? and there was a girl there that painted and drew, and like he hung up her stuff. Like he would frame it and hang it up, and like I went to her and I'm like, hey, you know, would you sell this painting? And she's like, no one's ever asked me that before. And I'm like, I love like this art that you made. It like it touches me. Like it, you know, I think it's beautiful. And she was like in awe. I'm like, you know, whatever you, I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but whatever you think it's worth, if you'll sell it to me, I would love to own it and have it in my house. And she was just like floored that somebody would want to buy her art. But it's like
humbling because we're doing it because we like it. So the fact that anybody else outside of our own minds would be into it, it's like, oh, you like it? Let's talk about it. Let's be friends. Let's whatever. And then you're like, no, I want to give you money and take it home. You're like,
yes.
It's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's kind of an awkward transaction, but it's like when I see stuff that like you've made, I'm a fan. You know what I mean? Like I don't know you personally. I don't know everything about you, but like I like the art
right
that you
here
make
is everything about me.
Yeah, like the art that you make, it says so much about you. Yeah, you're surrounded by things that you created, and that says more about you than, you know, what your driver's license says.
I mean, that's all there is. My driver's license says brown hair, brown eyes, which you can totally see.
Yeah.
And then if you weren't sure, there's a photo of this again.
Yeah.
So it's really redundant. This is way more identifying than my ID.
And not to be macabre or grim, but that will last longer than you.
Oh, I already know. Especially with the internet. I hope the internet keeps being beamed out there forever, like Star Trek.
Yeah.
So we can just be somewhere. Because right now we have to dig people's fossils up, and that ain't cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a hard knowing who people were and what they were doing.
Yeah. So like you don't see a lot of glimpses.
Right.
And these days with this technology, you know, we're able to keep, you know, or show or display records or things that we've made digitally.
I'm huge into history, so any kind of record is greatly appreciated, you know.
Yeah.
Whether it's written or photographs or whatever. Now with the internet, it's easier than ever, you know. You could just turn a camera onto it. So.
Well, I used to love the me and my sister had these records, the vinyl records as a kid, and you know, young people think that vinyl records, yes, they're old, but like they thought that it was just music, and vinyl records had other stuff besides just music. It would have like stories, it had storytelling, it would have sound effects. Like we had a haunted house sound effect thing. So like we would play the record and it would be like, you know, wind blowing and doors creaking and like ghosts like, ooh, you know what I mean? And it was fun, you know, or like we had like stories that were on record and you just play them over and over again. And that stuff it's priceless and it's part of our past, you know.
I've always thought that was weird that we sent, you know, Voyager out there with freaking gold records. Yeah. I'm like, do the aliens have a record player?
They're gonna be like, what do I do?
They're like, what is this? Our kids don't even know what that is.
Right, yeah. I can see them like taking it back to their planet.
And they're the exact same species. These aliens are gonna be like, what are these things?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, okay, guys, we need to reverse engineer our technology to be able to play this disc. Like, what can we make, guys? You know, let's put it together. Let's figure out how to make this, you know, a record player.
Yeah.
You know, we need to send something else out as like an apology or send out a record player, you know, into space.
I got it. We'll have Jesse Arnold write them a letter on actual paper.
That's what it is right there.
We'll stick it in a bottle and just shoot it.
Or just send Jesse.
Oh no, we need him.
Yeah, that's true.
Time continuum. I just told him that the other day.
We'll send his flannel.
There you go. We'll write it on flannel.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm going to wrap this show up. I appreciate you so much, dude, for being on.
Of course.
I want to have you on again. I want to talk more art. I want to talk more creativity.
Yeah, it feels like we
Um,
just scratched the surface.
yeah, we did, and we're gonna have a part 2 and part 3, man, because
Cool.
I think there's a lot to talk about, and I want to
Easily.
show more of your stuff. I love your views and your opinions, and the way you see things. I want to delve more into your your childhood and your imagination and all that stuff, man. I want to I want to dig deep into Sig and
Real
see
Larry King with it.
Yes, I'm gonna have you laughing. I'm gonna have you crying.
What makes you tick?
Yeah, come on, talk to me. But no, I think you're an important.
About it right here.
There you go. You're an important
What
person
makes
within
you-
the cabal. You're an artist, and I respect you and I respect your work.
Hey, I
And
appreciate it, man. I'm
and
gonna do it no matter what. So, like, what I mean by that, I'm good. I have to do it. It's what that's all I think about. I wake up in the morning, I have coffee, I start creating some shit. So
I think that's part of being an artist is or being creative, whether it's through music, through art, through writing, drawing. Like you have to feed that spark within you. If not, then it goes out. But you have to keep
again,
that.
the universe, like, I'm very disappointed in you.
Mm-hmm.
Burger.
Exactly.
That
I'm gonna
script
start
was
writing.
supposed to be on my desk.
I'm gonna start writing, man, because I'm gonna see you with your arms full, very disappointed. So I'm gonna start writing, and we'll compare. But I appreciate you, man.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having me on.
Please come back.
Okay.
I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you taking the time on a school night, on an important, on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time and coming on here.
Word, man. Thanks for having me. See you around the cabal.
Yes, for sure, man. This show will air probably in a couple weeks. I'll make a post. I'll hit you up before then, but I'll let you know when it comes on, and we'll show off some of your art. I want to showcase your art for sure, because you're gonna have some new fans that are gonna be really into your cool stuff.
Just kindred spirits, man. People that appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because they've wasted as many hours as I have into the hobby or the sci-fi aspect. With their head in the clouds.
And if it inspires you or if it makes you creative, then it's not a waste.
That's what I think. But I'm gonna be 50 next month.
That's okay. It's just a number, man. It's just a number. Plus, we were born in the best time, dude. I think.
Yeah. I wouldn't trade it for the world, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to keep going, but I'm grateful for the time that we were born. So
I hope we get to the singularity in our lifetime. Then we don't have to worry about it.
That would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Would just be websites, dismembered websites.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'll be sig.com.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It'll probably be like this, except we won't have this meat part. It'll just be the surface.
Yeah. No meat bags. We'll all be digital. I'll be Schmerbenberger digital,
gross.
And you'll be
Sig. Gross, anyways.
Yeah. We'll just adjust. We'll be like, I'll have good posture.
Right.
And more hair.
Posture is super important. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be avatars.
Because you're fighting gravity. That's all posture is.
Exactly.
Come on, gravity. Take a day off.
Right. Yeah. Give me a break. All right, my man. Thank you so much, dude.
Peace.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sig.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. Have a good night and keep dreaming. Later. Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.
Purple gang.